All right, new developments now. Day 2 in the bench trial for the man accused of murdering a Department of Children and Family Services caseworker in Sangamon County. Ben Reed is charged with murder in the death of Deidre Silas. Silas was killed in January 2022 inside a home in Thayer while checking on the welfare of children. Reed is charged with first-degree murder, aggravated battery, and aggravated unlawful restraint. And News Channel 20's Carolina Hassett was in the courtroom again today, where she learned more details about that topic. Carolina.
That's right, Don. Benjamin Reed's sister-in-law and his ex-wife testified today. They were both in the house the day Silas was killed. Now, authorities say there were 12 people living in the two-bedroom home at the time of the murder, and that the home was filled with trash and clutter. Amanda Eberwein, Reed's ex-wife, says Silas asked to see their children, and that's when she says Reed snapped.
They were trying to pull him off, and I realized I couldn't. I walked out.
Where did you go?
Back to the dining room area with my kids.
Do you recall him saying anything to Ariel during that time?
I do.
I'm sorry?
I do.
Okay. What do you recall?
He said you could be next.
Now, Eberwein told the court she was aware of Reed's homicidal thoughts because he has threatened her before. Now, the state has rested its case. Now, tomorrow, it's the defense's turn to lay out its case. In studio, I'm Carolina Hassett. Back to you.
Thanks, Carolina. The trial will resume tomorrow morning.
Well, we have continued to cover Deidre Silas's death as part of our Project Illinois series. Silas was a child protective specialist for DCFS. There were outcries for change following her death and the death of Pamela Knight, who was also killed while on the job as a DCFS worker. Some of those changes were lawmakers pushing to protect DCFS workers. One bill allows those workers to carry pepper spray while out in the field. It was signed into law and put into effect in May of 2022.
Some state lawmakers feel more protection is needed for caseworkers. House Minority Leader Tony McCombie has been pushing for legislation that would make harming a caseworker a Class 2 felony. So far, the bill has not made it out of the state Senate.
Now to an update. The state rests its case against the man accused of stabbing a caseworker to death. Benjamin Reed's charged with killing Deidre Silas in January of 2022 inside a home in Thayer. News Channel 20's Carolina Hassett was in the courtroom today and joins us with more details on the tragic day in Reed's own words.
The state's attorney played Benjamin Reed's first interview after his arrest. The interview happened just hours after Deidre Silas was stabbed to death. In the video, Reed admits to Sangamon County deputies he did not want Silas taking his kids and says he, quote, blacked out and snapped. Officials say Reed was diagnosed with schizophrenia and has a history of suicide attempts. Reed also told deputies he hadn't taken his medication in over 2 years.
I don't like DCFS. They took my brother's kids, they took my sister's kids, they took my brother-in-law's kids.
So you grab the knife and go in there and find her?
Take my kids. No. Think about it. I said, trying to take my kids? You're gonna die. I don't know.
Okay.
Now, tomorrow we will hear more from the defense. Now, his lawyers expected to argue there's not sufficient evidence with the lack of fingerprint detection on the weapons used during the attack. In studio, I'm Carolina Hassett. Back to you.
Thanks for that update, Carolina. The trial will resume tomorrow at 9 a.m. Thanks for watching. Stick around by subscribing today and don't miss a single video.